Afternoon to all of you. I was supposed to ignite the session post-lunch, and I'm privileged to have this session. Thank you so much. Yeah, I actually, to share with you, the RAI and RASCI combined is definitely going to ignite not only this session, but in the years to come, the entire nation. The entire industry, in the way we seek skilled talent, ready to work, and it will be there. We'll discuss a little bit about this in the next 10 minutes, which probably may get extended if I have the liberty. One clarification before we start off in terms of RASCI. Yes, we've been funded by the Government of India. We work with various ministries, literally all, that can actually enrich our industry, give an opportunity to people. But necessarily, we have been incubated by the Retailers Association of India and various other leaders from this association. So we are an outcome of this industry and we work for this industry. Just to set the context on the next 10 minutes, all of us have come through the education system. All of us have at least done 12 years of education. 12 years of formal education, how much did it enable us to earn our own livelihood? Now, is there a way of having a 12-week skilling session which definitely would enable us earn our own livelihood? That's the entire environment that the landscape is changing. There's a new education policy that is in the making. The first round of meeting has already been completed in the month of August. The good part is that the system has realized that to make the existing education system more relevant, industry participation is imperative. Industry voice is imperative. And in various of these forums, RASCI is the industry voice for retail. We've had a long journey. It has been gratifying. So if you look at it, if I have to just look back at 3.5 years of journey, we are almost in the capacity of a business advisory committee, the advisory committee, core committee member of almost 30 plus universities, including IGNOU, the Banaras University, the Mumbai University, the Tamil Nadu University, the Delhi University, the Jammu Central University, etc. Which means we have an opportunity to align with the entire system and give a better opportunity to people who are desiring and aspiring for careers in retail. I love this symbol. It almost shows a king in everyone. So how do we create that path? That is one of the prime objectives because of which RASCI exists. RASCI exists also because we need to create a system wherein a 12-week skilling program can actually enable a person earn his or her own livelihood in a respectful manner. We always have heard about this concept of having campus placements, and they were restricted to probably the B or business schools as we typically know of. Why restricted there when actually the workforce majorly into retail are at the nascent stages and actually come out of FY, SY, TY? So the new education policy and the National Skills Qualification Framework actually gives us this platform. This platform wherein both the segments, that is the fresh candidate who's aspiring for a retail career and the candidate who's already working within the workforce but did not have an opportunity to actually get himself or herself educated to that extent. How would it feel like when a customer walks into your store and interacts with an associate, and that associate actually turns out to be a postgraduate or a doctorate, maybe in visual merchandising, maybe in store operations. It's going to be an amazing feeling because that is going to give the dignity to the workforce. It need not be restricted to the CXO levels. And how can this happen? This can happen through the institutionalized National Skills Qualification Framework. So what's there in the country today is just one framework which cuts across vocational education, vocational training, general education, higher education, and further education. It brings about parity. So I can be a candidate who's an existing employee of any retail organization, and without having to be absent from my regular routine job, I can actually acquire credits. The framework is already in place. I can acquire credits while working on the job and acquire a qualification which is equivalent to probably my peer level who's undertaking the formal education system. So what happens is, I could also be a person who chooses to become a graduate in vocational subjects, pass out with a graduation degree, and at the same time acquire 3 years of experience. So vis-a-vis my peer, the person would be a graduate, and I could be a graduate with 3 years of experience. Young talent coming into the industry. What restricts? I mean, all of you, the sessions in the morning were fantastic. Many of you said that appropriately or relevantly skilled talent is a scarcity. Now, if you got a store in A location and you need to recruit people for that store, what better supply chain of relevantly skilled talent pool could be there but the college in that vicinity that is actually running courses which are articulated by the industry, signed off by you, validated and endorsed by you. So this is the platform that we are creating. So we require the industry leaders to even push us for certain roles which probably may not be the bottom of the pyramid, but could be niche roles. Because when we work on mandates given by the ministry, it's more to do with the bottom of the pyramid and moving upwards. But if there is a particular role that requires immediate attention and it's a niche role, please reach out to us. We'll be glad to serve you. Now, while creating this new era of bringing vocational skilling as part of the mainstream, we're probably the 132nd nation in the world to actually follow a framework which is common, which is the National Skills Qualification Framework. And aligning with this, if any person seeks their existing workforce to get, now they're competent, they're already in the industry, they're already working, they don't have an opportunity now to go back into college and acquire this qualification. Alternately, they do not have this option also to get themselves freshly skilled. So for those existing roles, can we, at a no operational cost, get them certified on par with the fresh candidates who are actually getting certified within colleges? Yes, we can. There will be a note that will be circulated through RAI and RASCI shortly in terms of how we are going to be doing this. It's all about enabling our existing workforce because they have the skill sets, they have the competency, they have the proficiency in whatever they're doing. How can we make them stand on the same level with their peers who are actually passing out through the formal education system? So it's all about giving respect and dignity to the person, giving the person the required recognition for what he or she brings as an outcome or a skill set. In the new education, this entire movement has become a movement in India, has become a movement across 37 sectors. And it's getting so much of importance that the new skill policy that was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister on the 15th of July, which is the World International Skill Day, Section 6.13 of the Governance and Finances Structure also permits organizations to actually contribute their CSR funding towards skilling initiative, which could be done either through a contribution to the NSDF, which is the National Skills Development Fund, or the respective sector skill councils. In case of retail, it's RASCI. You have large organizations who've already walked on that path, like NTPC, Power Grid, Cholamandalam, etc. Because previously, if they had to give this part, it used to either go, I still remember a few calls that had come to me in 2013, 2014,